We're inspired by women who have restarted their lives using health and fitness. We hope you are too. I'm Gwyneth Paltrow.
And I'm Tracy Anderson.
This is the Restart Project. On the outside, Tara's story is about restarting your life after a traumatic physical injury. But the truth is, the hardest part was overcoming the emotional injury.
I was your typical 22-year-old girl. You know, I hung out with my friends and went to parties. I was like Miss Social Butterfly, and I had a great time.
I was wondering if you could tell me what happened that day.
I will try without crying.
Okay.
I was in a fender bender on the freeway, and I got out of my car, and usual stuff, you know, you assess damage, you talk to the other person, everything was fine. No one was injured, and then I was hit by a passing car. I don't remember it. I don't have any recollection of it. So I woke up and was told the news, and the car was going 72 miles an hour. He hit me head on, so my legs were crushed. My head went into his windshield, and I landed 2 lanes over in the freeway on my back. From the impact of my head going into the windshield, my head was severed from my spine. So C1 to C3 was severed, and they call it an internal decapitation. But my left leg was the first thing to be taken care of because I was losing so much blood. It was a life or death matter, like amputate it or she's gonna die. So cleaned me up, amputated my left leg, put a titanium rod in my right leg as my shin bone, and they did a 15-hour surgery on my neck. The first thing I remember was being really confused. And I remember my dad was with me, and I could like feel his fear. And he was like, "Tara, you look really pretty," and I could hear it in his voice that like he was really sad. And he kind of walked me through everything. You were in an accident, everything's gonna be okay. My mom couldn't even be around me without crying. She had a really hard time. Everything was kind of unknown. With my neck injury, they said it could have caused nerve damage in my limbs, arms, fingers. That would all have to come with time. They didn't know. They did think I would walk again. They weren't sure if I would be able to run or be active, but they knew I'd be able to wear a prosthetic.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 23. Yeah.
And to be, you know, that young of a woman and to have to face that kind of physical change, and
Yeah.
did you think, were you worried about the rest of your life, how it might be changed, or?
I was, yes. I was, you know, my main thought was that no one would love me.
Oh.
And that I wasn't sexy. I was in the hospital for 4 weeks, and then I was in a rehab hospital for 2 weeks. And you're kind of numb at that point. You're still highly medicated. It's still kind of a blur. So I'd say the emotions really started to kick in when I went home. I remember days of just crying uncontrollably because, you know, everything's setting in, the medicine's wearing off, and like you're a different person. A few weeks after being home, the Challenge Athletes Foundation sent over one of their athletes, JP. I was still in a wheelchair, no prosthetic, cast on my right leg, just kind of a mess. And here comes JP walking in, carrying his running leg, wearing shorts, super fit, athletic, handsome man. And he's like, "Hey, I'm JP, how you doing? I've totally been where you're at, let's talk about it." You know, and I'm like, "What are you up to? What'd you do today?" And he's like, "I just ran 10 miles. I'm like, "You just ran 10 miles, okay." I never ran before my accident. I always admired runners, but I never pushed myself to do it. So I started very slowly on the treadmill and then on the driveway, and I eventually signed up for a 5K and finished it, and that was it. I was hooked. Since my first 5K, I've accomplished many, many half marathons, a few triathlons, a marathon. I've climbed Kilimanjaro. So yeah, I proved myself.
I used to play softball before I had cancer.
Okay.
So
I've had the opportunity to mentor other people, and it's been really special because I've been there and I can relate to them and kind of guide them and just let them know that it's gonna be okay. You know, it sounds very tragic, but good things have come of it, and I've accomplished things that I probably wouldn't have before the accident, so.
So would you go back and change it?
No, I wouldn't.
Wow.
I've learned that it doesn't matter if anyone loves me if I love myself, so.
That is really true.
Yeah,
But you're drop dead gorgeous.
thank you.
God, I can't run a freaking marathon.
Yes, you could.
No, I could not.
Since breast cancer affects so many women, we couldn't think of a better story than Cassandra's. There is nothing more inspiring than beating the odds.